What's up, everybody? Just wanted to give y'all a little update. I'd posted a video in a week or so. I'm waiting on parts. That's all. I'm just waiting on parts. One thing I've learned about these Lincolns is that nobody stocks anything for these cars. Nothing. So everything is you got it ordered online or get on eBay or somewhere, because your O'Reilly's and AutoZone and Advanced Auto Parts, they just don't. Napa, they just don't carry basic parts for these cars. I got into the brakes. I'll show you some videos on that. Got into the brakes. The calipers were a little hit or miss, so it's like, well, just throw some new ones on there. The gas tank just came in. I got to get a couple of fittings on it. It's got AN fittings on it, a little bigger than what I have in stock. So hopefully this weekend, probably about 3 or 4 days, I'll have a video pop about the Lincoln. We're going to get a gas tank on it, get it running. Hopefully get the brakes in it. Hopefully maybe drive this thing around if the tires don't blow off or blow up on me when I get out of the driveway. But that's coming soon. But I thought in the process, hey, let me show you what else I'm working on. Let me show you some other things around the shop. I got a few little cars here and there, and you might be interested. So here's a truck. I haven't posted on it because it's not my truck. It's something I'm building for a buddy, but it's a 57 Chevy. I'm trying to get it mechanically sound right now so I can get it down the road. I did a whole bunch of body work, placing panels and getting the body smoothed out. Hopefully I'll have it on the road by drive shaft comes back tomorrow. So hopefully I can get this thing on the road, put some miles on it, short miles, but get it down the road and make sure everything functions, does what it's supposed to, and it don't rattle apart or do all the drivey things. You know, she cranks and backs up and runs and doesn't shake to death and all that stuff. So done a lot of work on this. Hopefully have this in paint before too long. I don't know if I'll video it or not, because like I said, it's not my truck. I don't like putting other people's business on my personal stuff. So, but what I did want to show you was a car that I've had since '95. So this car began its life as a 67 6-cylinder car, not very optioned. My dad bought it in '77. He converted it to a RSSS clone, had all the options, all the trim, fold down back seat, consoles, highway headlights, you know, just an amazing car out of it. It was black then. They parked it, it's set for 7 or 8 years. I begged my parents forever to let me have this car. And finally my mom talked my dad into letting me restore and drive this car and have this car. So in like 95, 94, 95, me and my dad restored it. It was blue with a white bone B stripe across the front cap. It was a great car. I loved it, man. Most people from high school, I guess, probably remember me for this car. People who didn't know me still remember the car. But I've restored it a couple of times. I did a weird phase in like the early 2000s where I did like one of those fading, flip-floppy paint kind of jobs. It turned out horrible. Threw a big block in it. It's too much motor for the suspension. It was a lot of loud, not a lot of go. So this last time I decided to tear it down, get rid of the big block, and just make this thing a driver, because I drove this thing my whole senior year. It was my only car. I drove it my whole senior year. Then this was probably the only car that I had for 2 or 3 years. I drove it every day, loved it. So I put the big block in it. It was too loud. It just wasn't very drivable. So I wanted to make a drivable car out of it again. So in 90, man, it's probably been 10 years ago. So it's probably, I don't know, 2010 is probably when I started on it. Probably took me a year, a little longer to get it all together. I bought a 2009 Pontiac G8. And what I did is basically use everything I could off the G8. Because, I mean, you know, it ain't all about spending money. You know, you can do things good without having to spend a fortune. So this is a LS2 6-liter out of the G8. It had some dyno speed stickers and stuff on it when I got it. The car's quick. The car is really quick. I got to get it down the drag strip and actually see what it runs, because oddly enough, the funny thing is I haven't actually had it on the strip, on the drag strip, since I got it running. That's been a long time. So she's due to see what she'll run. If I can get some low 8s, man, I'm happy. And I think it should do that. But it's aluminum block, aluminum heads. If I remember right, The G8 motors had LS3 heads and intake on them, I believe, but a smaller camshaft to make European emissions. Powder coated the whole front frame, powder coated radiator support. All of this is actually paint, but the body is vinyl wrap. This has always been my experimental car. All the things I wanted to try, I tried on this car because I knew I was never going to sell it. So if it didn't work, then, you know, nobody's mad at me. I didn't sell somebody anything that wasn't validated. But so the motor is out of the G8. The radiator, actually that's condenser. The radiator and the fans are out of the G8. The seats, I actually made the seats work, and I love these front seats. They are comfortable. I had to cut them down. I had to actually took the electric motors off and put them on the factory Camaro sliders. Had to cut some of the plastic to get it low enough. But it's got the original G8 seats in it. I made the back seat fit, and then I know it ain't great. I get it. It ain't great, but it's doable. It looked better because I had it nice and tight, and I've had it out a couple times. Always I got my fire extinguisher. Always carry a fire extinguisher. Threw a little headliner in it. I gotta clean that up. I'm probably actually gonna pull that back out and redo it. I was playing with this. I just actually stacked foam and then just covered it, and it did okay, but I need to get some of that sandable foam and actually make it a little cleaner. But Dakota digital gauges, she's got vintage air, got a little cheap sound system in it that sounds really good. Threw in some kick panels, some carpet, you know. It's got the factory G8 shifter in it. The brakes, I actually took the brake calipers and rotors and I fabricated brackets to make these work on all four corners. I think they're man, y'all gonna get me lying here. I think they're 13 or 14 inch rotors on the front and the back, and this thing stops on a dime. I mean, she stops on a dime. I put TSW wheels on it. For me, 18s were too small, 20s were too big. So, you know, why not? Let's just pick a tire that it's hard to get tires for it. They're gonna be more expensive, but hey, it look, you know, if you're gonna look good, you gotta pay for it. So I did 19-inch tires on it. I actually did some Kumos on the back. These are oh, what brand are they? They are Kumos. Yeah, Extas V730s. Running 275 35 on the back. They're like a you know, like a drag radial, you know, just enough tread to shed a little water, but nothing bad. There's my little 4-link set up on the back. Running some Flowmasters. I think they're called FXs. I think they're more of the straight through Flowmasters. But this car, she's not perfect. I don't want it to be perfect. None of my drivers are perfect. If they're perfect, I'm selling them because I'm not driving them. So anything I keep, I've driven this car for the last 3 days, every day. I had a drive shaft in it yesterday, laid up in the passenger seat. So they get used. They're going to get used. But there she is. Yeah, I said this car, it's vinyl wrapped. It's not painted. And that's another thing that I did was, when I was redoing this car, I wanted something different because everybody has done Camaros and just played them out. I mean, it's hard to make a Camaro different. I mean, I don't care who tells you, it is hard to make a Camaro stand out. So I want to do something a little different on it. So I went vinyl wrap, because vinyl wrap, with this vinyl wrap, it gives me a finish that I can get with paint, but I wanted to try vinyl wrap. This is my experimental car, so that's what we did. I love it. I mean, I actually love the way it turned out. She is due. All right, I think my battery went dead there, but she is due for a rewrap. Some little spots here and there. I mean, you can't see it. You can see them up close if you look for them. And a lot of people aren't real familiar with wrap, so they just think it's paint. But anybody who knows or been around wrap, you can tell it's wrapped. I mean, it's pretty obvious. But I wrapped this car 8 or 9 years ago, kind of before the wrap scene got really, you you know, the rap scene got really big. But I wanted to try it. I love it. I mean, I love it. Which I actually, speak of the devil, I got a scratch right here. I don't know if that'll wipe out or not, but the vinyl wrap cleans up really easy. I don't have to worry about nicks and ding or nicks and scratches and stuff as bad. Like I said, this wrap is 8 years old. I drive this car a lot. Not a whole lot. I mean, I drive it a lot for old car status, a lot. And the vinyl wrap is just holding up great. And they say vinyl wrap life is about 8 years. I'm past that, but I mean, it's always garage kept, so it doesn't get a lot of sun beating down on and that kind of stuff. So that's probably the reason it's held up as long as it has. But she's due for a rewrap. I gotta fix some little things, like the trunk gap is a little off. I gotta fix that hinge. I think a quarter got put on it a long time ago, and either the trunk or the quarter's off, one or the other. Little things like that. But I did a bumper delete on it. No front bumper, no spoiler, no front air dam or spoiler. I just wanted the car to be nice and clean. I actually did the Rally Sport grill with the Super Sport buckets, just because I didn't want to mess with the hideaway headlights. I love the hideaway headlights. At the time, I didn't want to mess with them. And I think the whole front end of this car is all new metal, because when I had the big block in it had all fiberglass. But she was due to get a tear down, go through again, rewrap it, redo some of the body work. I got a couple little dings here and there I wanted to clean up, but clean up the body work and kind of go through the car again. Maybe there's a little spot in the floor I need to take care of where I put the tunnel in and stuff. But since the Lincoln came around, it might be a little bit longer. But anyway, there she is, 67 Camaro. I actually call the thing G28 because the you know, the G8. Oh yeah, she's got sequential tail lights too. Let me oh yeah, you want me to crank her up? All right. It's nothing astounding. It's not going to be like, dang, that's the best car I ever heard. But she's all right. She does okay. She sounds pretty decent. She's not gonna blow anybody's mind, but you know, it's LS motor. It sounds like an LS motor, you know. Unless you do a big cam or something in these LS's, you know, they don't really sound like you want them to. But I did do sequential tail lights. They're pretty cool. They're really bright. So it does that on brake lights and the blinkers. And it has like 7 different patterns that you can put on there to make them do different sequences. Each one has its own sequence, and you can mix and match them or whatever else. But this is why I've had it for a little while. But she runs out pretty good. She don't sound too shabby. I mean, I'm proud of her. So, but there she is. I hope you enjoyed seeing the old girl. I got 3 or 4 other cars that I'll probably pop some videos on here and let you see. But yeah. Hey, and let me know when I do rewrap this car, should I stay with the blue or should I go with something different? I thought about doing this same tint kind of color, flat metallic, but doing it in like a deep red color, just completely flipping it. But I don't know. I love this color. I've always loved this color. Camaros look good in blue, but let me know what you think on that. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button. I'll have a lot more content. I know the page is new. There's not much to watch right now, but there will be more coming. So hey, help me out. Give me a little follow. Give me a subscribe. Let me know what you think about the car. Let me know if you think I should do a color change on it. But I hope you enjoyed watching. There should be a Lincoln video coming out. I messed with a bunch of stuff on it, kind of just seeing what I've got. The windows are trashed. The fuel system, I'm hopefully gonna get it going, get the brakes on, get this thing down the road, hopefully this weekend sometime. And should have a video up maybe early next week. But hey, only way you're gonna know is hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. Thanks guys, appreciate you watching.